Oftentimes, I get a lot of referrals from both my candidates and my clients, which is great because it shows that they trust me. So thank you very much. And so they come to me and say, Joe, I have somebody that I know, or even their spouse, their loved ones. They've been recently impacted, lost their job. Would you be able to look through their CV, give them some advice? And they tend to fall into these two buckets. Some of them falls within our operating niche, which is technology sales and pre-sales, and some of them don't. But over the past 11 years, I realized that the areas or the things that I ask them to do, or the advice, they largely fall under these 5 areas. So I thought today let's put it in the video and I can share this with senior professionals who might be impacted and they want to get started on job hunting with people that may not be able to help directly. And if it's useful, I'll be quite happy. So the first advice is, I would say, be the first 10 or 20 to apply for any job. Of course, any job that you want, yeah. And it means, setting alerts on LinkedIn, and it means setting alerts on Google for Jobs. When a recruiter publish a role, their energy, their attention is on it. And one recruiter, usually they have between 15 to 90 jobs even for one person. So chances are they will not be looking at the job like 15 days down the road after publishing, because they would have moved on. They would have already shortlisted some people and sent it to their hiring managers who are always on their back. So so I advocate, between the first 10, 20 applicants, you be sure that chances are very high that your CV is being read, and you're not being called up. Then there are a few reasons. There might be other people that's better than you. There might be your CV doesn't reflect the kind of challenges that they once solved. So there's some other things, but generally you will know that your CV is being seen. If you are the first few applicants. So in order to do that, it means that you have to be ready, right? So you'll be applying from your mobile phone, and you want to say, okay, LinkedIn, apply using, say, my LinkedIn profile. So which brings me to the next thing. Your LinkedIn profile needs to reflect the achievements, the challenges that you have overcome. Basically, what kind of solutions and value have you provided that is expected of your next job. So say if you're looking for maybe the same role that you have, and what would be the typical achievements that is expected of this role? Yeah, and I'm talking about achievements and value and solutions. I'm not talking about job responsibilities include blah blah blah. You can put that, but that is not the most. That's probably not the most topmost thing that you put on your LinkedIn. Yeah, your achievements and what value have you provided, I think that's most important. So when it comes to saving your job alerts, going back to the first point, got to be a little bit creative. I know people who actually just do one job title, finance director or accounting director, and that's it. Yeah, but the smart way is to do different permutations. So it can be accounts professional, accounts executive, it can be accounting director, just various permutations that will still bring you the right job despite whatever fancy titles or non-fancy titles that they want to call it. You are not missing out any jobs that you could have done well. The third thing I want to talk about is network the decision makers. So maybe pick a list of 20 companies, 15, 20 companies that is in your domain, maybe in your industry, that they most likely will find your achievements and your experience valuable. So who are these people? Write down all these companies, and then who are their decision makers? Who are their hiring managers? And do you know anybody who will know these people? So if you all work in the same industry, chances are maybe you guys use the same resellers. Maybe you guys use the same partners, distributors, or even sell to the same customers. Say, hey, can you introduce me to this person, to introduce me to this person? It's the power of networking. If you're not comfortable with networking, I suggest you read some books, and it's always good to use warm network if you have. If you don't, then I would say that write them a really, really nice, polite email. I think upgrading to LinkedIn Premium might help. Yeah, and writing them an email to say email to say that, hey, I understand that there's this role, or I think I might be able to add value to this way. What do you think? I would like to have your thoughts on it. If you have a minute, and I totally appreciate your time if you can point me, the right direction if you're not the right person. So something like this, and if you were to do it, 20 companies every week, I think you should be able to find something. Yeah. The fourth way that I want to mention is through, recruiting firms. And recruiting firms, I mean those who work in your niche. So if you work in oil and gas, go to the oil and gas recruiting firms. If you want to go in technology, then you can come to me. Yeah, and and also other headhunting firms that is operating in this niche. Having worked for, like 10 or 20 years, you probably know, which are the firms that are in your area. If you don't, ask your network, ask your ex-colleagues. There will be somebody who will point you to somebody good. Yeah, it's always better to come from somebody who knows a headhunter well and be able to reach you. I have countless WhatsApp and emails over the years that goes, hey, my name is this. And I'll be like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes they say, oh, so and so asked me to speak to you. It's like, okay, you can be a client, you can be a candidate. So I'll ask, okay, what's up? How can I help? To find me a job now? Recruiters' time are also very, very, they don't have enough time, to be honest. Make their job easy. Write a really nice email to say, hey, I understand you work in this niche, and this is my CV, this is my experience. If you have 5 minutes, to take a look, I'll appreciate, if you can give me some, advice. Where should I go? And if you would have another 5-10 minutes to speak and just to connect, and we put a face to a name, that would be awesome. And just just send it to a few of the trusted network referred headhunters. I think that will work a lot better. Just be polite and be mindful of their time, because they do have a lot of candidates to speak to. And imagine, if they don't have an immediate job for you, and they're gonna carve out time to speak to you and put in all this effort, you be sure that they want to choose somebody that on WhatsApp they find them a lot more polite and respectful. And the last thing I want to talk about is your energy. Keeping that positive vibe is somehow very, very crucial. A lot of people that I've seen, they've done everything and a lot more, but because their vibe is so negative and sometimes defeated, whatever that they do, it just negates their action. So you can do all this, but your intention and how you feel when you do it sometimes make all the difference. If you are aware, the law of attraction, or like attract like, when you're feeling upset, when you're feeling like, maybe, this is all not worth it. I'm going for this interview. This guy is not even interested in me. I don't think I'm going to get this job. This is just going through a process that, it's putting up a show. I'm applying for like 20 jobs that I don't think I'm going to get called up for. If you have this thoughts, these negative thoughts permeating your mindset, your energy, you are essentially emanating that kind of energy, and it will attract that kind of outcome. Yeah, I know it's difficult because sometimes it's a vicious cycle, right? You don't get something and it makes you feel bad, and then you try again and you don't get anything and it makes you feel worse. You have to somehow, stop, pause, and break out of that cycle. It's easier said than done, I understand. And I've seen quite a lot of people, make it and not make it because of this mindset. This is the very crucial part. If you can research, go read some books about, maintaining your positive energy vibe, because this shows through. It shows confidence. It shows like, you're able to manage, your sense of mental wellness. Know that negative attracts the negative, and you want to cut that out. So we talk about, being the first 10 to 20 to apply for a job. Make sure that, your LinkedIn profile reflect the LinkedIn keywords for your next ideal job, and have them ready so that you can quick apply, on your mobile when you're on the go. Network the decision makers. approach the recruiting firms that operate in your niche, and lastly, keep the positive vibe. Yeah, I hope these areas are useful and get you started in the right direction.